Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Navi Chakra and Manipura Chakra, a divine adrenal gland. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature, with which the perfect objects of nature are designed and created. Divyank is the reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Navi Chakra and Manipura Chakra. I have clubbed both together for the first time. Till now, I was under the impression that Navi Chakra is separate from Manipura Chakra. I have been talking of Navi Chakra and relating it with adrenal gland, which is endocrine gland, and Manipura Chakra with celiac plexus, which is primarily associated with pancreas, endocrine gland. But somehow I felt the need to look at Satchakra Nirupana in detail and what does the author talk about Navi Chakra and Manipura Chakra. I was quite surprised to find that in Satchakra Nirupana we find both the names Navi, navel center, and Manipura, the gem center. Since both were connected with this particular chakra and the description is like that, so I thought it's better that I club together and avoid the confusion with respect to this particular chakra, which I myself have been having for years together. But what's the next chakra? Let me describe in the next one the enlightening thing which I found, which was missing in Satchakra Nirupana. Let me not confuse at this stage. And this particular picture which I have used is from the book called The Serpent Power by Avalon, which is a description of Satchakra Nirupana, where description of Navi Chakra and Manipura Chakra have been brought in the form of graphic presentations in animate form. What you can see in this, let us describe. The seed mantra or beach mantra for Navi as well as Manipura is Ram. Many people might be surprised. What has Ram got to do with this particular chakra? We will describe as we proceed with this particular video itself. Symbol in this particular is inverted triangle, which is a descent of Mahashakti and also related with the fire element. Number of lotus petals in this particular chakra are 10. What do they mean? We will understand with scientific evidence. Vehicle is ram. You can see adult he ram. Lamb is one less than 1 year. More than 1 year and adult is sheep is called ram. Is English word ram for this particular animal, which is the vehicle for this chakra, is a coincidence? Nothing happens as a coincidence. There must have been something of that nature realized even in English language. Anyway, we will not go into details of that. Element, the controlling element of this particular center is fire, Agni Bhuta. Location above the navel or associated with Navi is what Satchakra Nirupana also talks about it. And its close association with Vahani Nadi in Sushumna Nadi, the vertebral column, has also been shown in this particular picture. Right in the middle you can see Sushumna Nadi, and within that is the Vahani Nadi. Is that coincidence or something which we should understand it? The presiding deity in this particular is Lord Rudra, which is Shiva, with ashes all round. Rudra is supposed to be the initial god, Shiva, which is more prominent in Vedas. And Rudra means hot red. And as you can see, the triangle fire is also red hot. Presiding goddess is Devi Lakshmi with 3 heads. That shows that this is the third chakra in the ascension. So from that I have explained what is explained in or described in Satchakra Nirupana about Navi Chakra or Navi Padmam and Manipura. I think it's fairly clear that this is how ancient Indians experienced this particular center of consciousness and how they translated it in inanimate symbol which is there and that. And I think this description is more than enough to build so that we can explain these things in the light of modern sciences. As I've been showing that I have translated all these chakras from animate, semi-animate to inanimate form. And this is my latest improvised version of Nabi and Manipura put together. I have brought in this particular change which is different from the one which I had been using all this while. With the awareness that Nabi and Manipura are associated with adrenal gland, so I had to go back to this particular description and then translate into inanimate form so that understanding is much more clearer. So now, quote in quote, both Nabi and Manipura chakra are associated with adrenal gland only. Adrenal gland is a mixed endocrine gland and autonomic sympathetic system. I will explain to you and why it is called fire also. The triangle, as you've seen in that particular symbol, I have brought that same triangle down, which represents the fire element. And now, adrenal gland is closely associated with lumbar region, where I have 5 lumbar vertebrae. And from there, spinal nerves which arise are 10, and no wonder this chakra is also shown with 10 petals. 10 spinal nerves arising from 5 lumbar vertebrae is what this particular chakra has. I think that way also is very interesting. If Muladhara chakra has got 4 associated with perineum and the lower part of the ganglion impar, Swadhisthana 6 petals with S2, S3, S4 segments of the sacral segment to give 6 and this 10. And planet in Muladhara it is Earth, in Swadhisthana it's Venus, and in Nabhi the next in line from Sun to Earth is Mercury. Or say Earth, Venus, Mercury and then Sun. If we are ascending from Earth up. So third planet is Mercury. So this also makes it very clear, and Mercury by and large has a yellow predominant color. And adrenal gland is an emergency endocrine gland, and it makes sure come what may we can survive. I have also made it very clear Kundalini goes to sleep in Muladhara chakra. When wakes up, it goes to Swadhisthana chakra to produce ojas, which can be converted into tejas for intellectual work, for spiritual ascension. And in case of emergency, Kundalini always goes to Navi chakra to make sure that we will survive. And how it happens, then I would explain to you. But I am also of the opinion, the people who are not spiritually enlightened in the higher levels of chakras, the Kundalini at the time of death can go to Navi chakra and it can leave, the soul can leave the body from navel chakra, Navi from which it has come, the food from mother has come, and no wonder many people who are tuned to ancient Indian wisdom have spontaneously uttered the word Hey Ram at the time of death. Is it a coincidence or it is just another divine drama. Anyway, we'll not go into that particular detail. As a statement, leave it at that. Presiding deity in this is Rudra or Lord Shiva. You can see right in the middle, like a shivling. And you can see the red colors also. Goddess is Devi Lakshmi, 3 heads. The triangle represents the 3 heads. There is absolutely no doubt this triangle has the 3 heads and they represent Devi Lakshmi. Now coming to the adrenal gland, it might be surprising that adrenal gland also has got 3 layers of adrenal cortex. And then you have a 4th layer of adrenal medulla. And then you have a central integrating portal venous system, which is very unique to this particular center. So you can see right in the outside the 10 petals, which represent 10 spinal nerves from 5 lumbar vertebrae, and triangle, which represents 3 layers of neocortex, and the white portion is what you can say 4th layer of adrenal medulla, which produces sympathetic hormones, and blue is the venous return, as the red color as is a flow of blood into adrenal cortex, 3 layers, then a pooling system, and then into medulla oblongata, and from there it recharged or absorbed into the system through portal system. It's very interesting thing you can see here. You're going to see in the next thing to understand the concept, how beautiful I have been able to understand adrenal medulla and adrenal cortex or adrenal gland with the help of this particular Satchakra Nirupana, and this scripture have made me understand the beauty of Nabhi and Manipura chakra much better. Let's go to little scientific background of that. And adrenal gland and emergency gland, as you can see. Now left side I have put anatomy. There are 2 adrenal glands which rest right on top of the 2 kidneys. And because they are on top of 2 kidneys, they are also called adrenal. Added to renal, added to kidney. They are located on top of kidneys. Now let me share with you something which most of you medical students and medical professionals don't really go into details. Blood supply to the renal is from the renal artery, as you can see in the 3rd picture down. Get into the now adrenal gland outermost layer is a capsule, a sheet, and blood vessels enter through the capsules into the adrenal gland. Then creates a portal system, and portal system is there are both the ends you have a capillaries. In between you have venous thing. So absorption, reabsorption, and again absorption, reabsorption takes place beautifully. I'm going to explain how beautiful is this particular portal system in the adrenal gland. Now, blood from renal artery, after getting into the capsule, enters into the first layer called zona glomerulosa. This is superficial or white cells. You can see in the 3rd picture as well as 2nd picture. And then they go, after that, the same blood goes to the 2nd layer, which is zona fasciculata. This is a column of cells. First is a superficial or white cells. Now the column of cells. Then go to the 3rd layer, zona reticularis, which anastomizes the dark cells. It forms a vascular dam. You can understand that all the blood which comes is created as pool for these 3 particular zones. Then you literally have a dam, and from there it goes into the 4th layer called adrenal medulla. And adrenal medulla has got chromaffin cells, small venules, medullary vein, and the renal vein. That's how the blood is reabsorbed. And I think symbol of Navi, O ancient symbol, and my symbol. And now the description, now you can understand how beautiful is the entire present. Even the shape of adrenal gland, as you can say, is a triangular shape and has got three cortex and then medulla. Now let's understand the physiology to understand concept very clear. Blood which comes from the renal arteries, carries along with it cholesterol, the raw material for formation of hormones of adrenal gland, which is an emergency endocrine gland. Raw material is cholesterol, which has got 27 carbons, plus adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH, which is released from anterior pituitary, carried in the blood to the renal cortex in the process. So cholesterol per adrenal carbon in the first layer called zona glomerulosa, it produces pregnenolone and progesterone. The two hormones are produced in the first layer, pregnenolone and progesterone, from cholesterol, which is 27, and ACTH, to pregnenolone progesterone, which is carbon 21. And they further help in the synthesis of mineralocorticoid. The very word mineralocorticoid means these hormones are primarily meant for absorption of water and minerals, and final hormone which is produced is called aldosterone, which is carbon 11. And aldosterone helps in absorption of water and sodium from the kidneys and expulsion of potassium ions. Thereby the electrolyte balance is maintained, water content is maintained. In other words, the prime function of the first layer is to maintain blood volume and blood electrolytes, pH, so that come what may, we do not suffer from hypovolemia, hyponatremia, hypo blood pressure, and that function is very vital for homeostasis, and that is done by the first layer with the mineralocorticoids. Now the same blood, pregnenolone and progesterone, goes to the second layer called zona fasciculata, and it produces glucocorticoid. As you can say, glucocorticoid means it helps in the absorption of glucose. Plus it also produces cortisol, which produces immunity. As water, sodium, electrolyte balance is done by the first layer, glucose is as vital for survival as water and this. I've been talking from the homeostasis point of view. Even digestive system's prime function is absorption of water, nutrients, electrolytes, and in the nutrient it is glucose, which is important. The second layer's prime function is to mobilize glucose to maintain blood sugar level, otherwise we could die. Hypo functions have too low concentration of glucose is also not good for the body. So that function in emergency is done by the second layer. Same blood goes to the third layer, and in third layer it produces androgens. In case of male it is testosterone, in female estrogen, and both finally get converted into estradiol to convert ojas into tejas, and that gives you extra energy for spiritual evolution or bringing the whole homeostasis into perfect. So now from this angle you can really understand that prime function of first layer is to maintain blood volume, electrolyte balance. Second layer is glucose. Third, androgens were equally required for muscle intelligence and otherwise. So fantastic how beautifully these three layers are designed, how this cholesterol and it is converted into that, and they carry, same blood is carried from first, second and third, And at the end of third, it whole becomes like a vascular dam. Whole thing is collected, pooled around. And before that, it goes to the fourth layer of adrenal medulla. And adrenal medulla, it produces catecholamines. Catecholamines are like dopamine, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. And these are sympathetic hormones which are primarily to make sure your blood pressure is maintained, glucose is uptake, and come what may, you have to survive. So sympathetic system is the fourth layer, adrenal. And as I told you in the beginning, sir, adrenal medulla is nothing but migrated neural cells from autonomic ganglia. So now, I'm sure now things are very, very clear. Why adrenal gland is called emergency, why Kundalini goes to adrenal gland or Navi chakra or releases from Navi chakra in case it's not able to take care of the body, there is no evolution. I think things are very clear. So I'm sure, I'm quite happy that ancient Indian wisdom of Sat Chakra Nirupana has made me my understanding of neuroanatomy, neurophysiology, and neuropsychology and neurohormones on one side, and gross anatomy of adrenal gland, cortex, 3-stage, and medulla. And as a result, with the help of physiology, I am able to understand how this system works, how we should maintain this particular system by providing balance of water, sodium, electrolyte, glucose, and androgen. If we take care of these things, the need for emergency gland coming to play to save us at the last stage not arise. So from that, let's go take it to the next picture of sympathetic system. This picture I have told you, neurotransmitters is acetylcholine, whereas inside the medulla of this adrenal medulla, it is noradrenaline, and that works on blood vessels to make sure blood pressure is maintained, vascular construction takes place, contractility of the heart takes place, all the symptoms. As Mooladhara chakra I have shown at the bottom is the ganglia nippar, which is associated with sympathetic system, and inferior mesenteric are the sympathetic fibers corresponding to Swadhisthana chakra. Apana prana or expulsion primarily takes place of sympathetic activity centered on Swadhisthana chakra, which is associated with inferior mesenteric ganglion. But as far as Navi and Manipura is concerned, they are associated with superior mesenteric ganglion, which along with the GIT, particularly the kidneys, adrenal, are closely associated with this particular thing. So I have been brought this so that you can understand. Now we can slowly, step by step, understand close relationship between chakras, 10 centers of consciousness, Mooladhara with ganglion nippar, Swadhisthana with reproductive organs or sacral region, and Navi and this with lumbar vertebrae and lumbar nerves and associated with superior mesenteric. Now, both ancient wisdom and science coming together, I think we can use the knowledge of contemplative meditation to make ourselves physically and otherwise much more healthier in the process. Now, same thing in this particular picture I have done earlier. Mooladhara chakra, as you can see, the same. Swadhisthana is same what I have shown. But picture right, third one is Navi, and the one over that is also the same. But now I have brought both together to Navi and Manipura as one, as the third center, and closely associated with planet Mercury. For the next one, let's go to the next one. Let's give a new name so that we can bring the ancient Indian wisdom and modern science and reveal something, find something within the body which will correlate things much better. So let's wait on that. So, leaving at this juncture with the thanks. Thank you very much for kind listening, and it's been a joy sharing my spiritual science experiences in the light of human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology. Anyway, thank you very much.